All right, well, here's the situation. We left the Chicago area this morning at about 8:30.
8:30.
We got gas. It took us 2 hours to get out of Chicago. We paid about 20-something bucks to get out of Chicago in tolls. And then it started kicking us north into Wisconsin. And currently we are in Tomah, Wisconsin. And we are right in the eye of a major downpour. So much so that we couldn't see the hood of the car. And
that's what we're in right now.
Yeah. So we pulled over into this little town of Tomah here, and we're just gonna ride it out. It says that the major storm's supposed to be over at about 3:30.
Well, yeah.
And it's 2:52 now, so we got about a half hour just to kind of ride out the storm. She's shaking. We got some lightning and a little bit of thunder, so we're just trying to keep the radio on and
keep her occupied.
Keep her from freaking out too much. We don't want to give her another pill. Interesting, it went from like 81 degrees to 64 degrees, and my tire sensors on the trailer went off because of the sudden drop in pressure, and it's a temperature thing. Because we sat here for the last 10 minutes and all of a sudden the alarms went off and it says the pressure's fine. So something to consider. You know, you want to remove the urgency of the situation, so just kind of let it develop. You know, pull over, do the right thing. But we weren't having a blowout. It said we were leaking pressure, and it's because we went from super high pressure at, you know, 90-degree temperatures down to 64 literally
within minutes.
Yeah, within minutes. It wasn't a gradual you know, like climbing a mountain. It was, you know, 85 degrees and 64 in the blink of an eye. So I just checked the tires and everything checks out. Everything looks great. All the alarms started going, stopped buzzing. So we're gonna sit here for about a half hour, keep monitoring the situation. But it's interesting, you know. We learn, you learn a lot. But I tell you, the winds picked up and we just couldn't see. So the safe thing to do is just get off the road. And then when we hit the off ramp, it was stacked up with RVs.
Yeah,
so we did the right thing.
This car over here, there's a car in the gas station. They're waiting it out also.
Yeah.
Because they've been here just as long as we have. So.
Yep, there's some lightning. So anyway, kind of where we're at. And you know, it just adds to the excitement of this big trip. And you know, we've got a reservation at a KOA in Sioux Falls. Right now it's saying that we're going to get there at 8 o'clock. We're probably not going to get there till 9, and that's fine.
Hey, I heard you want to leave this place where we grew up. This old town, just put it all behind. Remember you and I would always find somewhere to hide when we were kids, so we could see and hear the water run. The river's gonna cry when you're gone. Where will you go? And won't you miss the ones you know? I'll be here hanging hanging on, waiting for your call. Seems like time as a wave passing by, leave a mark in our minds to turn to memories. The river's gonna cry when you're gone, 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 gone. The river's gonna cry when you're gone, 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 gone. The river's gonna cry when
Okay, we are back on the road. Just left Sioux Falls after a much needed night of sleep. Yesterday was brutal, and we will never do that again. That was a marathon drive, and it was too much. And I think what we learned there was break it up, take more time. It's not like we don't have time. So the other thing that we've kind of done is, you want to hold that? You can chime in anytime.
I know.
Is we've decided to pretty much wing it the rest of the trip, to break up the driving. So we originally had this plan to be at places, and then like yesterday, and it just is what it is. It was supposed to be, a 6 hour,
9 hour.
9 hour drive, which was on the edge of doable. But then we got caught in Chicago. The tolls took time, and then a half hour sitting out a storm. And then we got to the point where we were so tired and dragging that the best thing to do was to stop more often. So that took time. It just made for a really long day yesterday. So today we're driving to Deadwood, which is a very manageable drive. Plus we get an hour back on the back end because we'll enter the Mountain Time Zone. And then the change of plans is from Deadwood today. Tomorrow we're going to go to
Hardin
so that we could go to Little Round Top, Little Bighorn, Little Round Tops in Pennsylvania. That's a really long drive. Little Bighorn, Custers' last stand. We'll stay the night in Hardin, and then from there we're going to go to Missoula, then from Missoula to Pendleton, and then Pendleton to Stub Stewart in Oregon. So that breaks it into some manageable drive times. And we have no plan. We have no idea where we're going to stay. We're just going to get there and figure it out. But because it's manageable, we've got plenty of time to figure that out en route or once we get there. So anyway, yeah, I'm not doing what we did yesterday ever again. That was just too much. It was kind of like the drive to Ogden, and there was just, driving through Wisconsin and Minnesota. God bless you if you live there, but there's a whole lot of nothing on I-90. So, and we tried to find stuff to see. And those storms yesterday really took a lot out of us. So, anyway, that's it for now. We're going to check in Deadwood. We're going to set up camp at the Deadwood KOA. We're going to hit the Saloon 10. And then we're going to drive out to Mount Rushmore after we get rid of the trailer. And that's going to be really cool. and then we'll head back, get a good night's sleep, and then we have a short drive tomorrow, and then we're staying at the KOA there, and then do some sightseeing. So we'll have a short drive, a good day, another good night's sleep, and then it's all manageable from here until we get out to the Oregon State Park system. All right, I'm sure the dogs will appreciate that. We'll check in. Well, then that happened. We're at the last rest stop, and as I always do, I check the tires and noticed that my passenger rear tire had steel belts coming out of it. So, we're about 4,000 miles into this trip, and all the other tires are good. So we pulled over at a gas station right off the freeway. As luck has it, the manager's husband here at Vivian Motors changes out tires, so we're getting a new tire. That's all I got to say about that. Okay, so the tire is replaced. The damage was not too bad. It was only 85 bucks to put a brand new tire on. We'll settle that with Les Rob when we get back, but it is what it is. It's the cost of RVing almost 5,000 miles so far. I'm glad it happened, where it happened, and when it happened. We noticed it at the last rest stop, which was 7 miles just up the road. We Googled, found this gas station, went into the gas station. They don't have a service department, but I talked to the manager here, and her husband happens to be the tire guy in town here in Vivian. So, super friendly guy, did it nice and quick. Everything is good. And but if you're ever in Vivian and you have a tire problem, they only take cash. So we came back up here to the gas station, and he said, just run up there, and he goes, I trust you. So we're getting some cash. We're going to drive back there and pay the man, and then we'll be back on the way. It only put us off about an hour, so that's fine. Better safe than sorry. And anyway, here we go.
Well,
Wall drug in Wall, South Dakota, and now we're getting back on the road and into camp so we can go to Mount Rushmore.
well, we made it to Deadwood, South Dakota.
Yeah, we are camped at the Deadwood KOA, which Teresa just read a little thing about the historic significance of the actual site that the KOA is on. One of the very first gold mines in this area.
I believe so.
So that's kind of cool. We drove through Deadwood to get to the KOA, and we're going to go visit Deadwood later. But right now we are on our way up to see Mount Rushmore. And so we decided to take Highway 385, which the lady at the KOA said is about the same distance, but a heck of a lot more scenic. So that's what we're doing right now. So basically, we dropped the trailer, hooked up the water and electric, and
back on the road again, up to see Mount Rushmore.
yeah, we should be there in about an hour, about 45 minutes from now. And this is exciting because neither one of us have ever been to Mount Rushmore, so got to see that. But I'm really excited to kind of walk around in Deadwood. Maybe we'll do that when we get back this evening. Let the dogs cool off in the trailer, and we'll go down.
Yeah, because we've got to get dinner.
So we'll check in when we get either to Mount Rushmore or something that you absolutely positively have to see. And we're not even going to talk about the trailer right now. We're going to let that rest for the night, and we'll get back on that one. So anyway,
until then,
we'll check in. See the red light. Okay, well, we just saw Mount Rushmore.
Well, Jerry got to see more than I did, because apparently all the signs that said no pets, we didn't notice.
Who knew?
Who knew? So until we got like halfway up, and then this kind of rude lady so elegantly told us that dogs aren't allowed. So I took the dogs back down, and Jerry went and scoped it out so he can tell you what it's all about. Oh, don't take your dogs to Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, she let me know over and over again. So then Teresa took the dogs and walked back to the line where the signs are. And I kept going so I could take some pictures. And I don't know if she intentionally followed me or it was just a chance that she was standing next to me the whole time I was taking pictures, reminding me that the signs say no dogs are allowed. So anyway, she was doing her civic duty, and I don't think she subscribes to our channel. Anyway, Mount Rushmore is very cool. It's really neat to see in person, and everybody says that it looks so much smaller than what it does on TV or whatever. And I guess it's a matter of perspective, because it looked plenty big to me, especially at the very end of the viewing, taking pictures up. if you just kind of keep in mind the scale of those presidents up on the side of a mountain, and we're standing, you know, away from it.
A few hundred feet.
More than a few hundred feet. So I think if you keep in mind the scale, you're gonna come away with it with a sense of awe. But it's definitely worth the trip up there. Just don't bring your dogs, I guess. You know, it was really, really spectacular. And I think, yeah, I'm still in awe of just the scope of Mount Rushmore when you think that was made by people, you know. You know, they got up there and carved that, and it's pretty darn cool. So if you're in this area, Rapid City, the Black Hills area, you definitely need to take the trip up to Mount Rushmore. If you're coming from Deadwood, take the 385. It is a very pretty drive and very little traffic. We're driving through Keystone right now, and it's quaint. You can tell it's designed for tourists, but it's really cool. And you know, I think you probably need about a half hour
for Mount Rushmore.
For Mount Rushmore.
Well, yeah, but there's also a bookstore or a gift shop and some places that you can eat if you get home.
Yeah, and if you're going to watch the movie and stuff like that on how they made it, so give yourself an hour. But if you're just driving up to look at it,
they do have a ceremony every night when they turn the lights on.
Right, and the amphitheater is really cool. Teresa didn't get to see that. But it really is something to see. You should really come to see Mount Rushmore. So
we're headed to drop the dogs off and go down into Deadwood, which I'm very excited.
Yep. So that'll be cool, and we'll check in later on. Okay, we are back on the road again. We are in our 12th state of the journey. So we've gone Oregon, Idaho, Utah, Colorado, Kansas, Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, Wisconsin, Minnesota, South Dakota, and now we're in Wyoming, and we're heading to Montana. And we will be staying the night in Harding, Montana. What's in Harding, you say? It is where the Battle of Little Bighorn took place, right there. So we're going to get into Harding, get camp set up, and we learned our lesson yesterday at Mount Rushmore about the pets. So we are going to get the trailer set up and then leave the dogs in the trailer while we go check out Little Bighorn, also known as Custers' Last Stand. So that's that. An update on the tire/axle situation. It is what it is, and we are no longer stressing about it. We will continue to check and monitor it, but the tires are holding up right now, and we're about 1,400 miles from home. So I guess best case scenario is everything holds until we get home. Least best scenario is we have to replace another tire. And then worst case scenario would be that we have to have a full repair done, which we're prepared to do. And we've already kind of checked along the route where we could get that done. The best case scenario on that scenario is that we finish the trip and then get a hold of our dealer where we bought the trailer, and then take it in there about the 10th or 11th, and then just have the axle replaced and see about the warranty, because we did buy the extended 5-year warranty and we're well within that. So that's where we are with that. So I'm no longer stressing about it. We have a spare tire on the back. If we have to use it, we have to use it. We do have several big towns that offer services. So it is what it is at this point. So we're just going to enjoy the rest of the trip without really worrying about it. We're just going to take it easy and get us back to the West Coast. So anyway, we're enjoying the drive. We are in our 4th state of nothingness. And I tell you what, if you live here, that's great. You know, I'm sure but you could go hundreds of miles without anything, and you wonder what folks do out here. And God bless them. You know, it's given me an appreciation for the farmers of America as we've driven through all this farmland and pasture land, and you know, the oil and all that. God bless them. They are definitely the people that keep America, you know, fed and fueled.
Yeah.
And definitely entertained too, because you know, there's a lot of great stuff to see out here. So if you're from these parts, thumbs up to you. We love you. Definitely not us. Great place to drive through and visit.
I think I would go stir crazy. But
yeah, I don't know. But other than you know, this axle situation, the truck is running great, the trailer's pulling great, and you know, we're just having a great time. Yesterday was a great time, you know, going up to Mount Rushmore and seeing Deadwood. We had a lot of fun at Deadwood.
Deadwood was really fun.
So definitely one of those places that you need to put on your list of things to do and see. So when it comes to driving these roads, be prepared, and you just have to know it's summertime, so this is when construction happens, you know. And these places, I mean, they have gates over I-90 where they shut down portions of this highway in the winter because they get brutal winters out here. So if you're going to be frustrated about construction, don't come, because it's just here. And these are the months that they get to work. And so you just have to take it for what it is. And we have had construction on I-90.
A lot.
Yeah, every single state we've been in that I-90 cuts through, we have had construction. So it just is what it is. And, you know, we just take it easy. We got no place to be in a rush, so we've just been keeping it about 65 and letting the 80-mile-an-hour folks just pass us.
Yeah, let them get away from you. If you're merging into going into one lane, make sure that you look and make sure that all the 80-mile-an-hour cars are coming by, so you can let them go, so they don't have to be stuck behind us.
And really, you know, I think they understand that you're pulling a rig and, you know, and you're on vacation. So they just pass you. Nobody's been rude about it. Nobody's been unfriendly about it. It's just been, you know, getting through it. So, but, you know, just be aware that you're going to get into construction zones, and they go for a long time. So
Yeah, usually 6 to 12 miles. They'll have it down to one lane.
right.
So just be prepared.
So yeah, that's pretty much it. You know, I'm glad we bought a membership with KOA because we've been using the KOAs a lot, and now that we're kind of just charting our own path, you know, we made the reservation for Hardin yesterday, so it's nice that they're available, and we're just kind of playing it by ear from there. So anyway,
So we've got more.
we will check in if there's something to see or when we get to Hardin, and then definitely with the at Little Bighorn. All right, well, here we are at the National Monument for the Battle of Little Bighorn, and behind me right there is the monument to the fallen soldiers. On the back side of that is where Custer fell. So we're pretty incredible. There's white markers all the way out and surrounding this hilltop. And those are where the soldiers fell, or where they recovered them. Again, that's the monument to the fallen right there.
And there's no shade at all. I mean, there's no trees
No,
to give them shade.
and there wasn't then either.